Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Welcome to the Alshech Academy on a beautiful Tuesday. Baruch Hashem, we've set up the classes in a little bit of a different way to give you, the viewer online, a more beautiful view of this amazing shul. So this is the bima, one of the oldest bimas in the world, and in the oldest shul that's still in use in the world. And we are in the period of Tzfat Omer. Tzfat Omer is a time that not only are we working on ourselves internally, but we're also mourning the passing of 24,000 students of Rebbe Akiva. These 24,000 students were giant Talmidei Chachamim, and the rabbis say that they died in this period because they didn't honor each other. They didn't have respect for one another, which is a hard thing to understand. If a person is learning so much Torah, how does he not have respect for another person? So, B'ezrat Hashem, let's try to understand what is this pigam, what is this blemish that the rabbis say that shelo nagu kavod ze b'ze, that they didn't treat one another with respect. And we want to get to the point of vayichan sham Yisrael k'ish echad b'lev echad, and Israel rested there at the mountain on Mount Sinai, right? Shavuot, the giving of the Torah. Israel rested there as one man with one heart. Right, so that's the goal. That's one of the few times in the Torah that we know that we were in complete unity. Vayichan Shem Israel, right? That Israel rested there, not the nation of Israel, not the people of Israel. Israel just rested. We were unified as one. So the students of Rebbe Akiva, we're mourning their passing of these 24,000 students of Rebbe Akiva in this time. The students of Rebbe Akiva were Gdolei Olam. They were giants, and for sure, whatever it says about them that they didn't honor each other with respect, right? It's a very, very fine thing that we're talking about according to their level. But Chazal told us this in order for us to know and to rectify ourselves. In the beginning, we have to understand what is the root of this blemish, meaning what causes such big people, such Talmidei Chachamim, to not respect one another according to whatever it is on their level of a lack of respect, right? Again, we're not talking about they were going around slapping each other and saying, "You idiot, you fool." For sure, we're not talking about that, right? We're talking about big tzaddikim, and it has to be on their level. We have to understand it on their level. The internal aspect here is they were so big, they were such giants and such lofty people, and they were always working to have misirut nefesh, to self-sacrifice to Hashem. Just like Rebbe Akiva, the rabbi that said his whole entire life he had a ta'ava, he had a lust. What was Rebbe Akiva's lust his whole entire life? B'chol nafshecha, afilu notel et nafshecha. It says you have to serve Hashem with your whole entire soul, even if He takes your soul. Rebbe Akiva had this thing that he wanted one day to die a martyr for Hashem and Kiddush Hashem. In the end, it happened. He's one of the 10 martyrs, right? He got his wish. They thought that you have to give over and completely nullify this world in order to seek out Hashem. And then if that happens, you don't see place to, if you're nullifying the world, there's no room for another person. There's no room for another person's opinions because the whole world is nullified. Right? Because they knew inside their hearts, what's the difference between man and an animal and a beast? Nothing. Everything is nothing in the eyes of Hashem. Right? There is no nothing. So when you think that way, yes, it's a very lofty level to think like that in theory. But when you start to make that your reality and you treat a man like a behema, you see a man and a cow as equal because everything is nothing, there can be a problem there. That's why that's the inner aspect of what was going on, why they didn't have respect for one another, because they saw the whole entire world is nullified in front of Hashem. Every single judo is a revelation of godly light. It was a mistake for them to think like this, because they didn't understand the words of their rabbi properly. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, right? Once those 24,000 students died, Rebbe Akiva survived. Part of the reason that we celebrate Lag BaOmer is because Rebbe Akiva didn't die. Right? The rabbi was left alive. And then he went down to the south, and he got 5 new students. One of them was Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai. These are the students, again, the first students that Rebbe Akiva got back afterwards. He revealed the inner aspect, the true aspect, and the path of Rebbe Akiva. And he taught that the part that we need to nullify in this world is the part of the negativity that we see inside man. The part that wants to be separate, a separate entity, as something of its own ego. something that's separate and disconnected from Hashem, God forbid. But the core essence of a Jew, the true part of him, the godly part of him from up above, that is a chariot, a vehicle to reveal the light of the Shekhinah in the world. And we have to honor every single Jew very much if we see him like that. To see the revelation of the Shekhinah that's coming by him, that's dwelling upon him. Because not only is a Jew not separate from Hashem and we have to nullify him, opposite is true. By way of the neshama, the soul being inside the body of a Jew, the Hashem is revealed in the world on a higher level. By way of the neshama being inside the body. Because it's specifically by way of man that the light of Hashem is revealed down here in the lower realm. And Hashem's unity is revealed in the highest way possible. And there's a revelation that even here in this physical world, enod milvado, there's nothing besides Hashem. And everything that we have in the creation is brought by way of the light of Hashem, the power of Hashem. Therefore, we have to look at every single person with endearment, with love in our eyes. Every single person in Am Yisrael. Because he has the Tzelem Elokim, Kadosh v'Tahor. He's made in the image of God, pure, holy. And the honor of Hashem is revealed by way of him. The light of the Shekhinah is revealed by way of this person. V'hu oro u'maleotav. It's his light, and it's all the amazingness of Hashem being revealed by way of a human being. Another name for a neshama, for a soul, is called kavod, honor. Ura kvodi ura. Arouse my honor, arouse. Wake up my honor, wake up. What is the reality of a neshama, of a holy neshama? It's the light of God that's being revealed by way of it. And that's a godly reality. A part of the king, the honorable king. Therefore, honor and respect is at the core of the neshama. We're not talking about honor and respect of pride, of ego. Because Ge'ava is to take away the light of Hashem to serve me as a person separate from Hashem. When I'm seeking out honor, what I'm really doing is taking away the honor that Hashem has and using it for myself. Right? We're in Malchut Shebetiferet. Rav Yitzchak said this week that what's Tiferet? From the Baal Shem Tov, the Baal Shem teaches us that a person right now, we learned this when we did the chapter on Midot, that a person gets now the light of Tiferet come down on them. They're meant to glorify God. But they weren't able to reach it at its core. So they used that same light that was meant to glorify God, and they glorify themselves. Right? But you have to understand what they were really dealing with was a holy light. They just weren't able to elevate it to its source. So when a person looks at the light, at the success of his friend, and the good parts of his friend, to see that that's all the revelation of godly light that is being revealed in a unique way only by way of my friend. When a person lives like that, then everything of revelation of the light of Hashem causes you to want to cling to Hashem more and more and more. You see Hashem in every facet of your life, in your friend, in your business dealings, in your work, and everything, you cling to Hashem more. And you don't have jealousy and you don't have hatred. Rather, you have honor and respect and appreciation for the godly light that's being revealed by way of your friend. Because when a person understands that everything is just a vessel to reveal the light of Hashem in the world, you're happy with whatever Hashem gives your friend. Hashem gave your friend a house, you didn't get a house and you need a house, that's another revelation of Hashem in the world. You should be happy for your friend. Everybody, according to his idea, the things that he's dealing with, the topics that he's surrounded with. His will is only to do good and to help those around him. With what Hashem gave you. Hashem gave you money, you want to use that money for your friend. You want to use your money for your society, for the people around you, for your community. You also want to receive from your friend what Hashem gave him, that he didn't give you. And everything is from a place of ahava, of love, of bitul, of nullification, and achna'ah, and submission to the will of Hashem, and the reality that everything is revealing Hashem in this world. This is the tikkun. This is the rectification. I give place, I give a space for my friend. I honor my friend. I recognize His reality and His consciousness in this world. Right? Friend, family, interchangeable words. Anybody else that's besides me, right? I have to recognize that they exist. They have a place in this world. They have a job in this world. They have a function in this world to reveal Hashem in the world. And don't think about myself all the time, to be only invested and busy with what I need to do. Rather, to be included with all of the the fears of Hashem, all of those who have respect of Hashem. Whether I'm talking about the success of my friend, or those around me, my family, or whether I'm talking about honoring them and his path and his consciousness and his way of looking at life. I also have to try to learn from my friends and those around me. Whatever I can learn from that person. Everybody has a job, everybody has a revelation of Hashem that they're dealing with, that only they have. And only by way of me nullifying myself to my friend will there be a proper tikkun, a proper rectification. How do you do this? It's by recognizing the oneness of Hashem's reality in this world, that there's nothing besides Him. Hashem is everything. And a person is not separate from Hashem. It's all just Hashem. Everything is unified at its source. And this understanding will give you the ability and the power to be included in unity with your friend. Because the truth is, Hashem is one. Hashem is singular. There's nothing besides Hashem. There's nothing besides Hashem at all. Everything that's being found in this world is just another revelation of Hashem's light. Another tool to reveal Hashem. And we're all just emissaries. We're all just messengers of Hashem. And Hashem is who determines what everybody's going to receive and what everybody's going to lack. What is everybody's mission in this world? What is everybody's job in this world to reveal godly light? And it's specifically by way of a lot of different people having different opinions and different ways of thinking and different features that make up who they are. Whether we're talking about animals, human beings, ideas in the world, right? There's many different things that are going on in the world. That they're all different than how I think. They're all different than how I would rather see the world. That array of different opinions, excuse me, that array of different opinions and different ways of looking in the world, and different ways of Hashem's light being revealed in the world, they include everything. And they show that Hashem is not limited to one type of way. Hashem wants to be revealed, sorry to say it, but Hashem wants to be revealed by way of Hamas in the world. Hashem also wants to be revealed by way of the Tzaddik in the world. Lavdil, right? Hashem is not limited in how He reveals Himself in the world. Everything is a revelation of Hashem or a concealment of the light of Hashem. But even the concealment of the light of Hashem is also a revelation of Hashem in a deeper way. And when a person understands this idea and he grasps it, that every single person is coming to do their job according to who they are in their spiritual and their physical makeup, then you understand that there's place for different types of ways of serving Hashem. And you not trying to nullify the other person. Rather, you recognize the reality of the person and the work that he needs to do and the needs that he has in this world. And that should bring us to Matan Torah, to the giving of the Torah. Revealing godliness in the finer details. This is the whole entire secret of the giving of the Torah. To see that Hashem is in the world, like it's written, V'yired Adonai al Har Sinai. Hashem came down on Mount Sinai. And then it's written there, Ata haoret ladat ki Adonai hu Elohim en od milvado. You made it possible for us to know that Hashem is Elokim, the transcendent one is what we see in nature, en od milvado, there's nothing besides Him. And since that's the case, then everything that I find in this world is a revelation of Hashem, specifically the Jew, which is part of the Shekhinah Kedusha, because Am Yisrael chose Hashem, and Hashem chose Am Yisrael to dwell down His light and to reveal His Shekhinah by way of them. Therefore, by way of honoring every single Jew, we'll be able to merit to receive the Holy Torah with purity, with sanctity, to merit to comprehend and to see how Hashem is coming down and dwelling amongst us and unified with us, to be able to see and to find in every single thing that I experience in my life, especially specifically in every single Jew, the unique revelation of the oneness of Hashem by way of that thing. And when we recognize that everything is just a revelation and a tool to reveal Hashem, then we get to the aspect of Vayichan Sham Yisrael Keneged Ha'ar. Israel dwelled there in front of the mountain. Israel dwelled there, not a whole bunch of people. One body dwelled in front of that mountain to receive the Torah. Ki ish echad belev echad, as if it was one man with one heart. And by way of this, nitkan hapgam shel talmidei Rebbe Akiva. This is how we rectify the blemish of Rebbe Akiva's students, that they didn't have honor one to another. And with this, whoever lives like this, live to find the revelation of Hashem in every place, he's going to love every single Jew with his whole entire heart, and he'll be happy when he's successful, whether it's with Torah and mitzvot, or whether it's physicality. Your friend finishes a masechet, you're happy for him. Your friend gets a new house, you're happy for him. He gets a new suit, you're happy for him. He gets married, you're happy for him. Because the reason that a person feels jealousy and wants to nullify the work of the other person, everything comes from a place of ego that confuses and tricks a person into thinking, my friend has something and it came on my account. He got something that I was meant to get. I need a house and he got a house that should have been my house. And you start to get jealous. Why did he merit to get that thing when I need it so bad? People think that they're missing out when the other person gets. But whoever looks at things with the proper perspective that everything is a revelation of the light of Hashem, then you're happy when there is a revelation that happens via your friend. Hashem revealed himself via your friend. Hashem revealed how he brought a house down into the world via your friend, not via you. But it's still a revelation of Hashem. You should be happy. You should want to receive that light that's being revealed by way of your friend, so that there should be more revelation in the world. When you understand that everything is nullified to the true oneness, and everything is just branches of the Holy Shekhinah, the revelation of Hashem in the world, then אין יד מקנאת בחברתה כי הם גוף אחד והצלחת זו היא הצלחת זו. Then the hand doesn't get jealous of the other body part because they're one body. Right? The heart can't get jealous of the hand, and the hand can't get jealous of the heart. If the heart is successful in pumping out blood, is the hand jealous? No, the hand is just happy that it's getting its blood that it needs, right? And if the hand is able to pick up an apple and bring it to the mouth so that the blood could get the oxygen and the vitamins that it needs to keep pumping, the heart is not jealous of the hand for doing its job. It's one body. Everything's meant to work together. So too, Am Yisrael is one neshama, is one body. It's the holy neshama of the Shekhinah Kedusha, the body of Knesset Israel. And my friend's success and my success are completely equal. Everybody is all on the same page. And this is what it means, ki ish echad belev echad, as one person with one heart. To be a merkava, to be a vehicle of expression for Hashem, the Hashem that is one, and to throw away and to get rid of all of my jealousy and all of the darkness and all of the ego and all of this feeling of a low level of honor. I want to cling to the oneness of Hashem, the simpleness of Hashem, to see everything in the world, specifically every single Jew, is a revelation of Hashem. And when I look at a Jew this way and I see inside of him the part of the Shekhinah that's revealed inside of him, then I also have a lot of honor for him. And I also feel him, and I have a connection with him, a relationship of love, very powerful love. Zohi Achdut Israel Amitit. This is the true unity of Am Yisrael, with a love that is not dependent on anything, unconditional love. Just because we're rooted at one in the source, that's enough of a reason to love each other. Because every single Jew is a piece of Hashem from up above, and his root is rooted in the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which is one simple unity. Simple meaning it's not made up of many parts. It's just Hashem. There's not Hashem and this and this and this. No, it's just that one light that's before creation. That's where all of our souls come from. Once the world was created, we see it revealed by way of one person and another person and another person. We have to be able to tap into the knowledge that every revelation was once coming from, and still is coming from, and emanating from the light of the Ein Sof that is before any Akiva, before any compilation, before any making up of different parts. It's one simple light that comes. Think about the light, lahavdil, it's in Mashal. Think about the white light that goes inside the prism. And then the prism comes out as 7 different lights. Right? 7 different colors, the colors of the rainbow. All of those different colors that you see on the other side of the prism, they're intrinsically coming from the one light that came before the prism. So too, when we see other people, we have to recognize that they came from the light of pre-creation. Every single Jew, every single Jew is a part of the Shekhinah. The way to be successful, to really go into the inner aspect, meaning when you see a Jew, and you're meant to look at the internal part of him, not the external part of him. To be able to look at a person and immediately you see the neshama inside of them. That's the part of Hashem from up above, mamash, and you can unify it and connect it to that point, and you want to love that godly point that's inside your friend, to see how this Jew, he's a part of the Holy Shekhinah, and you contemplate on this truth, that every single creation is not created separate of Hashem. It's just another tool and vessel to reveal Hashem's light in the world, specifically a Jew, which is a part of Hashem from up above, mamash, ben shel Hashem yitbarach, the son of the king. And the second you understand this and you live it, then when you see a Jew, straight away you will connect to what he truly is, meaning to his inner aspect, to the holy neshama that's inside of him. Because every hardship that we have in loving the other person is because we look at the external aspects of what makes him up. Externally, there's differences between people, right? Some are from Colorado, some are from Zimbabwe, some are from Chile, some are from Holland. There's all different people in the world. They're all different, right? And all of those differences could cause us a lack of connection. They could cause us some distance, right? I don't think like you. I didn't grow up like you. I don't think that way. It's another reason that we could be further and further from each other, all these differences that we see. One person's tall, one person's short, one person's athletic, one person's fat, whatever it is. All these things, they make more and more differences between us. But the internal part, the spark of Hashem that's inside the Jew, that you can love no matter what. That doesn't matter about the external part, doesn't matter. If you can tap into the simpleness and the oneness of the neshama, all of those other things can't bother you. And when a person loves the pnimiyut, he loves the inner aspect of the Jew, as gam hakelim hachitzonim, anhogotav u'ma'asav shel inyanav yimtzu chen beinav. When you love the internal part of the Yid, when you love the godly soul that's inside, then with the time, the external things also start to become dear to you. The way he walks, the way he talks, the way he acts, all of the external aspects that make up that human being, after a while, if you really love his neshama, those things that might have annoyed you, or might have been different for you, they didn't match your cultural thing, they start to not only fade away, you start to think that that's what makes him special. That person is special to me because of the way he acts, because of how he's different than me. Externally, what could have been the thing that annoyed me and made me cause distance and I don't want to be with him, that thing starts to become dear to me. I start to love it even more. Ki al kol pishaim tichaseh ahava. We have a pasuk that says on all of the sins and all of the iniquities, all of the negative things I could find in a person, love is able to cover up all of that. If I really love them, it doesn't mean I'm okay with it, right? It might be I'm not okay with it, but I'm able to love the person. My love will overcome all of those hard things. So what's the way to do this in avoda? What's the applied way to do this? Tefillah, in the beginning, you have to really want this. You have to want and have a desire and a yearning to love, to merit to love every single Jew. To have Ahavat Israel. It's a level. You have to pray to Hashem and want that Hashem gives you the power and the ability to love every single Jew. And beg Hashem that you should merit to get to this level. And also learn more about Ahavat Israel. Right? There's the famous book, Ohev Israel, and the Rebbe of Apter, one of the students of the Baal Shem Tov, one of the school of the Baal Shem Tov. His book, usually the Hasidic books are named, after the Rebbe, some kind of name. They have some part of the name of the Rebbe inside there. This book, Ahavat Israel, is not like the Ohev Israel, is not like that at all. But the Rebbe was so much wanting to teach people about Ahavat Israel that he named his book Ohev Israel. It's also a good place to start. Learn books that teach about this idea. In order to drill this truth into you more and more, you have to be able to know it. right? And we know things in our head, but we have to get it down to our heart. We have to be able to download it properly into our heart. And after that, you try. Have a set time that you take upon yourself to actually contemplate about your friend, to meditate about a friend. Take a certain friend or your wife or your children or whoever it is, someone, or your rabbi, a person that you're engaged with on the daily, right? Take a certain time that you set to meditate how that person at their core is a holy, holy neshama, a piece of Hashem from up above. And you sit and you think about your friend in that way. What is he truly? What is my wife truly? What is she? She is a revelation of the Shekhinah in the world. So too is my boss. So too is my student. So too is my friend. So too is my son, my daughter. Take a time to contemplate about this, to meditate upon them. We're Jews, right? We do meditation. We have to be thinking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to be taking time to practice. We do it 3 times a day. We have a meditative practice called the Amida, right? But it's not enough. That's for us to connect to Hashem. But what about us connecting to our friends? Set aside a time that you can sit and contemplate on a person and see the neshama inside of him. And more specifically, when your friend is next to you, look at him with your spiritual eyes. Look at his internal aspect of what he really is, and his holy neshama, his precious neshama that is pure, and think, my friend is the son of the king. He's a piece of Hashem from up above. He is a limb, an organ of the Shekhinah Kedosha. Me and him, we're mamash one, we're unified at our core. And when you get used to thinking like this more and more and more, so too the things will go inside your heart. And you have to have importance, and you have to think and hold precious and value every single thought and every single emotion that you have that's positive about another Jew. Because by way of this, slowly but surely, with the help of God, you will ascend to get higher and higher levels of Ahavat Israel. And when you deal with this more and more and more, you will merit to the level where Hashem will give you the ability to constantly, when you see a Jew, the first thing you see is the godly part inside of him. The neshama, the precious neshama that he has, which is a part of the Shekhinah. And then you'll feel immense love and connection to that person. So we have to, last thing just to finish off, we have to include dveikut with our achdut. The whole entire goal of the Torah is to get a Jew to cling to Hashem. There's 613 ways to do it, right? And Rebbe Akiva, who we're talking about him and his students, Rebbe Akiva said, after Recha Kamocha is a klal gadol b'Torah. One of the biggest principles you have in the Torah is to love your fellow Jew as yourself. Like we said last week's parasha. If a person is here in this lower world, in this physical world, and everything seems as if it has a separate reality from Hashem, right? A flower is not Hashem, it's not connected to Hashem. The book is not connected to Hashem. The human being is not connected to Hashem. The bicycle is not connected to Hashem. That's how it appears in our eyes. It's going to be very hard for you to connect to another person if you see everything as separate from Hashem. Therefore, in order to merit a true love, a person has to go, first things first, into dveikut to Hashem. If you want to connect to all of Am Yisrael, first things first, you have to have a connection, a deep connection with Hashem. To feel that there's only Hashem in the world. To think that there's nothing in this world besides Hashem, and to cling to Hashem every way possible. And after you feel a strong level of dveikut, then you have to return down to this world, so to say. And then, B'ezrat Hashem, you'll be able to successfully see how every single Jew is a revelation of the light of Hashem that you were clinging to before. And the Yetzer Hara wants to confuse you and confuse us. And he says, he shows a Jew, he sees a Jew going into dveikut, going into a deep connection with Hashem, and he arouses him and says, you have to connect with all of Am Yisrael. The Yetzer Hara comes and tells you that. Don't forget, the Yetzer Hara, when we grow, he grows with us, right? Once you used to look at the girl in the bikini, and now the girl with the mitpachat and her head covered, she also looks attractive, right? Like, he grows with you. So too here, he gets dressed in a mitzvah. You want to cling to Hashem and have dveikut to Hashem and think about Hashem. What does the Yetzer Hara come and say? There's a big mitzvah called Ahavat Israel. Think about all of Am Yisrael. Think about connecting to all of Am Yisrael. Go and work on the avodah of achdut, of unity between all the Jews. That's the Yetzer Hara telling you to work on that. Why? It's not proper to do this. You need both of them together. But first things first, you have to work on your dveikut. If you're not attached to the core, if you're not attached to Hashem, how are you going to find the part of Hashem that's inside the other person? You can't do it. First things first is dveikut, and the outcome of dveikut is achdut. The outcome of having a deep relationship with Hashem is unity between Am Yisrael. Because only then I can recognize the godliness that's inherent in every single person. Only when I have dveikut can I go properly into the inner aspect of achdut, of unity. So B'ezrat Hashem, may this help us to not only honor one another, right, but to really take this as a deeper understanding. What is Ahavat Yisrael? What is the unity that we need between Am Yisrael? It's an outcome of a deep connection to Hashem. As a Jew, we have to be deeply connected to Hashem. That is our main goal, the main goal of the whole entire Torah. The whole entire Torah is coming to teach you one thing: to cling to Hashem in every facet of your life. In divorce, in marriage, in death, in life, every way possible to connect to Hashem. The outcome of having a deep connection to Hashem is when you see a Jew, straight away you see his neshama. You see that he's a part of the Shekhinah. You see that he's the son of a king. And then you just love him. And the outcome of that is that the external things that could have caused you to be separate from him and distance from him, that he thinks differently than you, that he grew up differently than you, that he speaks a different language than you, that he looks different than you, all of those things actually start to become nice for you. They become what makes that person special. First things first, you have to connect to the neshama. And before that, you have to connect to the neshama of the whole entire world, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'ezrat Hashem, may we all be successful in doing this. Amen.